Hello, my name is Joshua Mugabi. I welcome you to Biology Lights. And in this session, we're going to talk about plant structures. Name the parts of the plant shown in the drawing. A is the terminal bud. B, the leaf. C, lateral bud. D is the stem. E, lateral roots. And F, tap roots. Match the structures: stem, leaf, root, terminal bud, lateral bud to the following functions. A, produce carbohydrates. B, carries water to leaves. C, absorbs sunlight. D, continues growth in height. E, absorbs mineral salts. F, makes branches. D, anchors plant in soil. H, conducts food to roots. I, evaporates water. J, produces new leaves. K, spaces out leaves. L, produces flowers. M, absorbs carbon dioxide. N, absorbs water. Stem. B, carries water to the leaves. H, conducts food to the roots. And K, space out the leaves. If the stem is green, it also produces carbohydrates. And C, absorbs light. If it is not covered by bark, the stem will probably I, evaporate water. Let's look at the leaf. The leaf. A, produces carbohydrates. C, absorbs sunlight. And I, evaporates water. The root. Root. E, absorbs mineral salts. G, anchors the plant in the soil. And N, absorbs water. Terminal bud. Terminal bud. D, continues growth in height. J, produces new leaves. And I, produces flowers. Lateral bud. Lateral bud. F, makes branches. J, produces new leaves. I, produces flowers. The drawing represents a vertical section through a leaf, magnified 200 times. A. Name the parts indicated by the letters A to E. A is the upper epidermis. B, its chloroplasts. C is the air space or intercellular space. D, it's the guard cell. And E, the lower epidermis. Part B. What differences can you see between the palisade cells and the sponge mesophyll cells? Part B. The palisade cells are elongated and have many chloroplasts. The sponge mesophyll cells are rounded and have fewer chloroplasts. Part C. What is the function of C? Part C. The air space C permits the diffusion of oxygen, carbon dioxide, and water vapor to or from the cell inside the leaf. Part D. Name the features represented in the diagram which are thought to adapt the leaf to its function in photosynthesis. Part D. The elongated palisade cells allow sunlight penetration. The abundant chloroplasts in the palisade cells absorb and use the energy from the sunlight. The stoma allows entry of carbon dioxide for photosynthesis. The air space allows the gas to reach the photosynthesizing cells. Part E. State other structure features thought to be adaptations to the process of photosynthesis and their contribution to the efficiency of photosynthesis. Part E. Leaves are broad to offer a large absorbing surface to the sunlight. Leaves are thin to reduce the distance over which carbon dioxide has to diffuse in the leaf. The network of veins in a leaf delivers water to the cells. Which of the following are most likely to be true when the stomata are open? The leaf is A. Absorbing oxygen. B. Giving off water vapor. C. Absorbing carbon dioxide. D. Giving off carbon dioxide. E. Giving off oxygen. When stomatas are open, the leaf will be B. Giving off water vapor. If the stomatas are open, it is likely to be daylight, and therefore the leaf will be photosynthesizing, and thus C. Absorbing carbon dioxide, and E. Giving off oxygen. How many stomata are shown in this drawing of leaf epidermis? A. There are 12 stomata in the drawing. Part B. How many of the stomatas are open? Part B. 7 of them are open. Part C. How many are likely to be open at night? None of them is likely to be open at night. Part D. What is the magnification of the drawing? D. The magnification is 200. What process is responsible for the movement of carbon dioxide into a leaf? Diffusion is responsible for the movement of carbon dioxide in a leaf. In what conditions might the same process cause oxygen to enter a leaf? Oxygen diffuses into a leaf when its concentration inside the leaf is lower than its concentration in the air outside. This occurs in low light intensities when the rate of respiration exceeds the rate of photosynthesis. The diagram represents transverse sections through a root and a stem. Part A. Which one represents the root? Giving your reasons. Part A. Figure 1 represents a transverse section through a root. the presence of root hairs, and the central position of the vesicular tissue, that is the xylem and the phloem, are the features which identify this structure as a root. Part B, still part A. Which one represents the stem? Giving your reasons. Part A, figure 2 represents the transverse section through a stem. The diagonistic features are the distinct epidermis and the central pith, and the distribution of vesicular bundles around the fellow. Part B. Name the part of these organs represented by the letters A to J. Part B. A is a xylem or vessels. B is the phloem. C is a cortex. D is a root hair. E, it's the epidermis. F is a cortex. G is the phloem. H is a xylem or vessels. I is a cambium. And J is a pith. Hello friends, thank you very much for participating in Biology Lights. I encourage you to subscribe.